Chapter 30. Alan respectfully said towards Blitz, I, Alan, was born in Fernandro Principality. Fernandro Principality is my motherland. If I had a choice, I wouldn't want to betray my motherland. Therefore, I desperately asked the mighty Steel Lord Yang Yi Darren, and finally moved him. As long as Fernandro Principality and Cineris Principality's West Windsea City were handed over to him, then he would agree to join Warlock College Antalya. Moreover, he would send his only kin to join Warlock College Antalya and cultivate the Warlock path. At the same time, he'll become a great wall of steel protecting Warlock College Antalya. As long as he's there, then Savage Claw's experts absolutely won't be able to pass through his territory and attack the Southern States Alliance. This condition isn't bad. Since Yang Yi was able to defeat Fernandro clan, then if he's sincere in relying on Warlock College Antalya, we'll obtain a formidable assistance. No. Fernandro clan is Warlock College Antalya's subsidiary clan. If their clan is destroyed, what will the other clans think? This will shake Warlock College Antalya's rule. Fernandro clan must be preserved. Otherwise, the foundation of Warlock College Antalya's rule will be shaken. In the discussion hall, the Level 2 Warlocks were engaged in an intense discussion. Some Level 2 Warlocks advocated for Yang Yi to join Warlock College Antalya's sphere of influence, while some Level 2 Warlocks were determined to protect Fernandro clan. Blitz pondered for a moment and then said unhurriedly, Fernandro clan has been loyal and devoted to Warlock College Antalya all these years. They haven't made any major mistakes in their work. It's impossible for us to abandon them. West Windsea City is Cineris Principality's richest port city. We can't give it to you. Change the condition. 3 great Level 2 Warlocks attacked Black City, yet 2 were killed and 1 returned with serious injuries. They didn't even get to see the Steel Lord. Warlock College Antalya attached great importance to Yang Feng's formidable mechanical legion. Even if it was an iron-blooded person like Blitz, after Yang Feng revealed a trace of intention to rely on him, he also had no choice but to weigh it over and over again. Alan once again took a step back and said, since it's like this, with the current power as the boundary, Fernandro Principality will cede the 3 cities of Golden Sand City, Ironwood City, and Bright Stone City. Moreover, they will compensate us with 300,000 magic stones and 10 bottles of Blue Mirage Potion that can change a practitioner's soul aptitude. Then I can persuade the mighty Steel Lord Yang Yi Darren to accept your conditions and join Warlock College Antalya. Moreover, he can send his only kin to join Warlock College Antalya to cultivate on the Warlock path. He really dares to open his mouth. 10 bottles of Blue Mirage Elixir are enough to promote a superior level 3 Spirit Aptitude Apprentice Warlock to intermediate level 4 Spirit Aptitude. However, although Blue Mirage is precious, but if we can absorb the Steel Lord into our Warlock College Antalya, then it's still very worthwhile. The Level 2 Warlocks in the meeting hall discussed spiritedly. In the end, the majority of the Level 2 Warlocks agreed to Alan's conditions. We agree to your conditions. Blitz's gaze shifted and fell on an old man with white hair and beard among the Level 2 Warlocks. Uterax, tomorrow bring the contract to Black City and sign the contract with Steel Lord. Uterax respectfully saluted towards Blitz and said, Yes. Darren. Black City, Warlock Pagoda's basement, 1st floor. Kacha. On top of the altar, cracks appeared on the eggshell of the unknown life form. Yang Feng's spirit was slightly roused. These days, most of the time he stayed on top of the altar, just like a chick waiting for the life form within the egg to hatch. Now that the life form within the egg finally started to come into being, his heart was brimming with expectations. Yang Feng put his palms together and muttered towards the enormous egg, My requirements aren't high. Since it's something that comes out from inside the taboo stone, then it's basically a lofty existence. I'll be perfectly satisfied with a young of a dragon, phoenix, Cerberus, or any other kind of divine beast. A mythological beast with a cool background. In the 2nd Warlock dynasty, those formidable warlocks conquered countless planes and captured a lot of formidable existences to carry out all kinds of taboo experiments. Those puny life forms and secret treasures basically didn't have the qualifications to be sealed by the taboo stone. It was precisely because of this that Yang Feng was so expectant towards the enormous egg. Gotcha. In the midst of Yang Feng's expectations, the enormous egg at once broke open. Curled up inside the enormous egg was a cute little girl of about 6 years old, without a single piece of clothing, with a head of waist-length hair, skin as white as jade, sparkling and translucent like an angel. How could this be? There's no need to play with me like this. Where's the powerful contract beast? Yang Feng opened his eyes wide as he looked at the 6-year-old little girl crawling out of the enormous egg. He wanted to cry but had no tears. Yang Feng originally intended to get a powerful contract beast, then on the warlock path, he would have a huge meat shield and a powerful henchman. Now that a 6-year-old little lowly ran out, he wanted to cry but had no tears. That little lowly opened her eyes. That pair of bright and clear big eyes firmly stared at Yang Feng. Yang Feng looked at that little lowly's pair of pure, clear and beautiful black jewel-like eyes. The vexation in his heart completely disappeared, and instead gave birth to a feeling of tender affection. Forget it. Getting an oriental lowly can be considered pretty good. In Turandot subcontinent, Westerners occupied a mainstream position. Reportedly, in the distant main continent, there were also a lot of Orientals. However, in Turandot subcontinent, Orientals were still very rare. Those with a cute appearance like this little lowly were even more incomparably rare. That little lowly gave Yang Feng an adorable sweet smile and extended a pair of snow-white little hands. Yang Feng had a doting expression as he held the adorable little lowly in his arms. Once that little lowly was held in Yang Feng's bosom, she giggled, then raised her snow-white little hands. A mysterious force gushed out. The fragments of the enormous egg scattered on the altar flew into that little lowly's hands. She held those fragments of the enormous egg and continuously gnawed on them. Every time she gnawed on a fragment, that little lowly would grow by a fraction. 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, that little lowly grew rapidly, very quickly grew into a 13-year-old beautiful young lady with a head full of beautiful long black hair, ample twin peaks and a sexy and alluring figure. Yang Feng looked at that little lowly's constant changes, once again confirming that the little lowly before him wasn't a human, but rather a kind of other life form. Guji, thank you for hatching me. I like you the most. That beautiful young lady, as if from a fairy tale, threw herself into Yang Feng's bosom and said sweetly. Yang Feng caressed that beautiful young lady's beautiful black hair and said with a smile, "You were hatched from a stone and have snow-white skin. From today onwards, I'll call you Xianxia." Xianxia gave Yang Feng a sweet smile and said, "But." Yang Feng clapped his hands. Before long, a robot holding a black Gothic lowly dress walked in. After Xianxia changed into that black Gothic lowly dress, she at once exuded an astonishing power of charm, making Yang Feng's heart slightly moved, giving him a kind of dazzling feeling. Chapter 31. N3796 possessed Robot Bonnie and handed a pair of silver glasses to Yang Feng. "Owner, the data analysis glasses you need have been made." Yang Feng put on the silver glasses and silently said in his mind, "Carry out a data analysis on me." Yang Feng, basic attributes, strength 0. 63, agility 0. 74, physique 0. 62, spirit 0. 85, blood meridians, earth's trash. Soul aptitude, inferior level 1. Comprehensive evaluation, classified as a level 0 life form. Evolution potential, small. The silver glasses flashed with radiance and quickly listed a series of text. Yang Feng whispered somewhat gloomily, "Level 0 life form, my strength is really terrible." Adjusting his mood, Yang Feng looked towards Xianxia sitting beside him and at once launched the scanning ability of the silver glasses and scanned Xianxia. Xianxia, basic attributes, strength 1. 5, agility 1. 6, physique 2. 1, spirit 3. 5, blood meridians, insufficient data. According to the analysis of the known data, this life form has a formidable blood meridians. Natural charm. This is her innate talent, making people have a favorable impression of her at first sight. For males, she has a huge attraction. Soul Aptitude, Superior Level 8. Comprehensive Evaluation, currently classified as a Level 1 life form. This life form has a huge evolution potential. Yang Feng's eyes burst out with a scorching radiance, full of excitement as he thought, Superior Level 8 Soul Aptitude. Really too frightening. This is a monster-level cultivation innate talent. My luck really isn't that bad. In Tyrandot subcontinent, cultivators with level 7 soul aptitude were as rare as phoenix feathers and qilin horns, almost rarely seen even in 100 years. Superior level 8 soul aptitude, even if placed in the 8 great warlock imperial dynasties eras, it would still be a peak existence, the era's darling. Shui seemed to have sensed Yang Feng scanning her state. She turned her head towards him and sweetly smiled, brimming with charm, making Yang Feng's heart sway slightly, somewhat unable to control himself. Yang Feng relied on his strong willpower to forcibly move his line of sight away from Shui's body, his heart surging up and down. Not good, the Earth's trash state is really too terrible. If it goes on like this, it absolutely won't do. Otherwise, if a random witch were to cast a charm spell on me, I'm afraid I would become her slave. After Yang Feng obtained the data analysis glasses, he began to practice the most basic cultivation for advancing to an apprentice warlock under Robot Bonnie's guidance, physical tempering. Apprentice warlocks were the lowest level of existence within the warlock system. However, wanting to become an apprentice warlock was absolutely not that simple. Every apprentice warlock's physique must reach the level of a knight rank expert, only then can they start learning the knowledge of an apprentice warlock. Without a strong body, it was impossible to bear the burden of learning such high-intensity warlock knowledge. Moreover, warlocks like blood meridian warlocks, who need to transplant the blood meridians of powerful life forms, without a strong body, they simply can't bear the impact of the blood meridian transplant. Once an ordinary person was transplanted with an overly powerful bloodline, they would basically explode and die. Originally, with Yang Feng's attributes as a good-for-nothing earthling, it was almost impossible for him to promote to a knight rank expert by relying on his own efforts. However, the methods of an official level 1 warlock were extremely terrifying. Every day, Robot Bonnie didn't hesitate to consume a large amount of resources to refine some of the most basic body-strengthening elixirs, slowly improving and strengthening Yang Feng's body, making him progress little by little every day. 3 days later, a huge griffin flew towards Black City. There were 2 people sitting on the griffin. They were precisely the level 2 warlocks Uterax and Alan. Halt your steps, immediately descend from the sky. Otherwise, we'll regard you as an enemy and shoot you to death. A level 4 bladed troop at the city gate raised its head and issued a loud electronically synthesized voice. The muzzles of the anti-aircraft cannons quickly adjusted and started to lock onto the griffin in the sky. Uterax suddenly had a premonition of danger, his eyebrows slightly creased. He pulled the reins and rode the griffin to descend from the sky. Uterax used a critical gaze to size up the level 4 bladed troop guarding the city gate. He quickly found a series of shortcomings of the level 4 bladed troop. These are Steel Lord Yang Ye's mechanical golems? The workmanship is really too crude. The power system is also far inferior to the 6th Dynasty's fine products. The style is also far too different from the 6th Dynasty's mechanical golem legion. The level 4 bladed troop was originally a crude version of Yang Feng's specially simplified robots. In order to pursue output and production speed, the level 4 bladed troop had a lot of shortcomings, but it wasn't a problem for it to crush ordinary people below knight rank, but even dealing with a level 1 apprentice warlock would be very difficult. Alan walked out from behind Uterax and said towards the 8-bladed troop guarding the city gate, "I'm Alan, the envoy of Warlock College Antalya. This is Warlock College Antalya's honorable envoy, the level 2 warlock Uterax Darren. Please let us in." The level 4 bladed troop pointed towards a passageway covered with all kinds of scanning equipment and said, "I'm very sorry, Alan Darren. Due to the existence of assassins, no matter who it is, they must go through a scan before they can enter Black City. Please come over here and accept the scan." Alan turned around and said with an apologetic expression, "Uterax Darren, I'm very sorry." Due to the fact that not long ago we were at war with Fernandro Principality, we have no choice but to be cautious. Please come with me. Eudirax was somewhat unhappy in his heart, but still slightly nodded and followed Alan into the passageway. Once they entered the passageway, a scanning ripple was immediately emitted from a radar-like instrument, enveloping Alan and Eudirax's bodies and starting to scan them in all aspects. Eudirax, basic attributes, strength 21. 6, agility 21. 9, physique 30. 7, spirit 36. 5, blood meridians, ordinary human blood meridians. Soul aptitude, superior level 5. Comprehensive evaluation, classified as a level 8 life form, level 2 warlock. Eudirax's physical data was quickly transmitted to Yang Feng. Too powerful. Yang Feng looked at Eudirax's data, his eyes flashed with a whiff of shock. Eudirax's physical constitution was several tens of times more than Yang Feng's. Even if Eudirax didn't use any spells, he was still a humanoid monster-like existence. This was the terrifying aspect of a warlock, a level 2 warlock. After receiving the scan, Alan took Eudirax towards the Warlock Pagoda's location. Warlock's Eye. Eudirax cast the level 1 spell Warlock's Eye. A huge eye suddenly appeared above his head and looked in all directions. Chapter 32. This time, Eudirax came to Black City with an important mission, that is to spy on Black City's actual situation. Under the Warlock's Eyes' spying, the scene within a radius of several li fell into Eudirax's eyes. At this time, the entire Black City was still in the transformation stage. Every street was built with a permanent defensive fortress. On top of the permanent defensive fortress were 3 anti-aircraft cannons, 3 machine guns, 1 multi-barrel rocket launcher, and 6 12.7mm heavy machine guns. The entire Black City was like an enormous fortress, with all kinds of cannons everywhere. Eudirax's scalp was slightly numb. With Eudirax's strength, a cannon was basically unable to harm him in the slightest. However, if he didn't escape, he would be blasted to pieces by the hundreds and thousands of machine guns firing at the same time. Eudirax observed the entire Black City through the Warlock's eyes, while silently thinking in his heart, if His Excellency the Dean doesn't act, then even if Bloody Hands Blitz Darren leads a team, it would still be very difficult to take down this Black City. It seems like the Steel Lord indeed obtained a portion of 6th Dynasty's Mechanical Golem Legion's inheritance. After passing through one street after another, Eudirax's duo entered the Warlock Pagoda and directly arrived at the Warlock Pagoda's 3rd floor's main hall. I'm the Steel Lord Yang Yi. Eudora, welcome to our home. Please sit. A liquid metal robot with artificial eyes and human skin draped over it sat on the seat of honor, before lightly smiling towards Eudirax. Beside Yang Yi stood 8 level 7 primary battle robots. They were respectively 4 level 7 bladed troops, 2 level 7 gunner troops, and 2 level 7 shield troops. The 8 level 7 battle robots' all-out defense was enough to allow Yang Yi to quickly flee the scene when attacked. The 8 level 7 battle robots were originally 5 to 6 meters tall giant battle robots, but in order to allow them to move freely within the Warlock Pagoda, they were directly shrunk to 3 meters during construction. Thus, their battle prowess was weakened by a lot, but they still had the terrifying strength to kill level 7 life forms. Eudirax directly took out the agreed-upon contract document and handed it to Alan. Hello, Yang Yi. I'm Warlock College and Talia's Eudirax. I'm very happy to meet you. This is the agreed-upon contract document. If there's no problem, then please sign it. Alan stepped forward and handed the contract to Yang Yi. Yang Yi carefully read the contract. After confirming that there were no loopholes, he signed his name on it. Eudirax, what do you think of these 2 mechanical golems? Yang Yi waved his hand, and the 2 level 7 bladed troops immediately walked to the center of the hall. Eudirax carefully looked at the 2 level 7 bladed troops. The 2 level 7 bladed troops weren't in human form, their upper body was in human form, but they had 8 arms. Each arm was equipped with an alloy long blade. Its head had countless insect-like compound eyes, as well as a bloody mouth full of saw teeth. Its lower body was in the shape of a ferocious tiger, and its tail was incomparably sharp, like an incomparably sharp spear. Yang Feng snapped his fingers. The two level 7-bladed troops immediately moved and madly fought. Ding, 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 ding. Incomparably ear-piercing sounds of metal striking each other frantically reverberated in the area. The two level 7-bladed troops were like the most ferocious mechanical battle beasts as they madly fought each other, using every conceivable means, making people dazzled. Such strong mechanical golems. The battle prowess of these two mechanical golems is already comparable to that of a pinnacle level 1 warlock. Eudirax watched the battle between the two level 7-bladed troops. His eyes flashed with a whiff of graveness. After the fierce battle for a dozen seconds, Yang Feng clapped his hands lightly. The two level 7 mechanical bladed troops immediately stopped fighting and stood motionless. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi smiled as he looked at Eudirax. Eudirax said slowly, "Very formidable. The battle prowess of these two mechanical golems is already comparable to that of a pinnacle level 1 warlock." Yang Feng said with a smile, "How about I gift these two mechanical golems to you?" Eudirax pondered for a moment, then said decisively, "All right. However, what do you need me to help you with?" The two mechanical golems with battle prowess comparable to that of a pinnacle level 1 warlock were also very useful to the level 2 warlock Eudirax. These mechanical golems were very convenient to deal with some large numbers of enemies as well as when exploring some dangerous areas. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi gave a slight smile, clapped his hands lightly. Shortly after, his true body unhurriedly walked out from the side. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi pointed towards his true body and said slowly, "This is my only blood relative, Yang Feng. He wants to cultivate on the warlock path, but his talent is too poor. I hope that when he cultivates in Warlock College Antalya, you can take care of him." Yang Feng pressed his right hand on his chest, slightly bowed towards Eudirax in salute and said, "I've seen Eudirax Darren. I'm Yang Feng, Steel Lord Yang Yi Darren's nephew." Eudirax was a genuine level 2 warlock. Moreover, he was a level 2 warlock from Warlock College Antalya. His strength was extremely formidable. Yang Feng wasn't willing to be disrespectful in front of such a formidable warlock. Eudirax turned his head towards Yang Feng and gave him a glance. His eyes at once blossomed with a dark green radiance, completely enveloping Yang Feng. Yang Feng immediately felt his body sink. He was practically unable to breathe, unable to move, unable to think. His entire life fell under Eudirax's control. His entire body trembled violently. A feeling of fear spread from the depths of his heart, spreading towards his limbs and bones. That feeling of fear persisted for a full 10 seconds before disappearing. Yang Feng's entire body was already drenched in sweat. He gasped for breath. His legs trembled incessantly. His eyes flashed with fear. Yang Feng's heart was brimming with fear, so strong. Is this a level 2 warlock? Truly too strong. Worthy of being extraordinary life forms that transcend mortals. Only when truly facing them can one deeply feel their terror. Eudirax creased his eyebrows. He pondered for a moment before saying unhurriedly, "Yang Yi, your nephew's soul aptitude is only inferior level 1. With such a soul aptitude, even becoming an apprentice warlock would be extremely difficult, let alone becoming an official level 1 warlock. Even if he joined Warlock College Antalya, it would still be very difficult for him to become an official level 1 warlock." Yang Feng's heart sank slightly. Eudirax was an orthodox level 2 warlock from Warlock College Antalya. A level 2 warlock with a formidable inheritance like Eudirax was many times stronger than a level 2 rogue warlock without an inheritance. Now that Eudirax said that it would be extremely difficult for him to become a level 1 warlock, then it would really be extremely difficult. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Ye's voice was deep and full of firmness. He's my only blood relative, and also my only relative in this world. No matter what price I have to pay, I'll let him become an official level 1 warlock. Blue Mirage can change a person's soul aptitude, then as long as he can promote to a level 1 warlock, no matter how many bottles of Blue Mirage, I'll get them for him. Chapter 33. This youngster shouldn't be Yang Ye's illegitimate child, right? Euterax shot a somewhat surprised glance at Yang Feng, his heart brimming with curiosity. Euterax said unhurriedly, any elixir has its limits, taking too much of it will produce a resistance. His cultivation aptitude was simply too low. The Blue Mirage potion could only raise his soul aptitude to upper rank 2 at most. Even with our Warlock College Antalia's inheritance, a superior level 2 soul aptitude can at most only be cultivated until level 2 or level 3 apprentice warlock. Moreover, to promote his soul aptitude from inferior level 1 to superior level 2, the amount of Blue Mirage elixir required is at least 50 bottles. Each bottle of Blue Mirage elixir is worth 5,000 magic stones. 50 bottles of Blue Mirage elixir require a total of 250,000 magic stones. A magic stone was equivalent to 100 gold coins, 200,000 copper coins. 250,000 magic stones was equivalent to 50 billion copper coins. Such a huge sum was only enough to promote Yang Feng's soul aptitude from inferior level 1 to superior level 2. The price of promoting soul aptitude could be imagined. It was precisely because of this that even if it was a close relative, if the soul aptitude was too poor, then generally no warlock would let them tread the warlock path. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi said in a deep voice, even so, I still won't give up. Euterax, I hope to be able to obtain some soul aptitude promoting elixir formulas. Can you help me purchase a few of them? I'll pay you an adequate price for them. Euterax said with a slight smile. Soul aptitude promoting elixir formulas, every one of them is an extremely precious existence. I only have a soul aptitude promoting elixir formula, Banshee's Tears. But I have to remind you, this Banshee's Tears is an elixir formula passed down from the second Warlock dynasty. Many of its materials are special products of other planes. In the last 1,000 years, no one in our Tyrannid subcontinent has ever successfully concocted this elixir. Even so, this elixir formula, if you want it, then you have to pay me 10,000 magic stones. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi said resolutely, I want it. The 10,000 magic stones will be deducted from Fernandro clan's war reparations. In Tyrannid subcontinent, all the knowledge was in the hands of warlock groups. And every knowledge, if an ordinary person wanted to learn it, they had to pay a huge sum of money or the corresponding magic stones. Euterax opened his hand and a somewhat yellowed piece of paper appeared in his hand. Then, as if grabbed by a mage's hand, it flew into the hand of Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi glanced at that elixir formula, then quickly scanned it into the database and began to deduce and analyze it. Euterax said with a slight smile, Yang Yi, I'll do my best to take care of your nephew in Warlock College Antalya. Yang Feng's embodiment of the Steel Lord Yang Yi was a terrifying warlock alchemist capable of easily killing level 2 warlocks. Uxt, Yang Yi embodiment of Uxt, this is Yang Yi, King Tahius, Yang that my might. With Ming, T, Yang, Feng's, Feng, Lude with my, T, said, my nephew, Yang, currently is, Yi, : my nephew, can you give pointers to Yang Yi? Euterax pondered for a moment, then waved his hand. Shortly after, a secret book appeared in his hand. A wizard's hand grabbed that secret book and directly flew in front of Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi. This is the part of Magic Notes Titan that can be practiced until level 3 Warlock. 7th Warlock Dynasty's Magic Note Dynasty's peerless secret method, it possesses boundless might. Although without the Plane of Giants Titan's blood essence, this secret method will forever be unable to promote to an official warlock. But this Magic Notes Titan's foundation is very good. As long as you are willing to spend resources, then your nephew should be able to promote to a level 1 apprentice warlock within 3 years. There were many formidable secret methods passed down from the 8 great warlock dynasties. However, those formidable secret methods have long since slowly declined along with the changes of the times. Even so, that Magic Notes Titan is still God knows how many times stronger than Zhao Zhang's clan's Thunderox martial art. With Yang Feng's aptitude, cultivating NR 3790 SIXS optimized Thunderox, but in his lifetime he would be unable to promote to a knight rank expert. But cultivating Magic Notes Titan, within 3 years he would be able to promote to an apprentice warlock. This is the huge disparity between cultivation methods. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi casually threw Magic Notes Titan to his true body and said in a deep voice, still not thanking Uterax Darren. Yang Feng's true body bowed respectfully towards Uterax and said, thank you, Uterax Darren. Uterax, how many magic stones do I need to pay you? Uterax said with a slight smile, this Magic Notes Titan is too precious. Uterax said with a slight smile, I promise to help you take care of your nephew. This small gift is nothing. Magic Notes Titan's might is boundless. Even in the 7th Warlock dynasty it was still one of the most pinnacle secret methods. However, in Tyrannid subcontinent, it's basically impossible to obtain the blood essence of a Titan, therefore this peerless secret method's value isn't high. My nephew has a little girlfriend, her cultivation talent is very outstanding. I want to ask for a powerful secret method for her. This golem is a small gift from me to you, I hope you'll like it. Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi clapped his hands, a level 7 shield troop walked from his side to the center of the main hall. A level 7 bladed troop's figure moved, it brandished 8 super alloy blades and fiercely chopped at the level 7 shield troop from 8 directions. The level 7 shield troop raised its shield high, a formidable transparent protective cover appeared in a flash blocking in front of it. The level 7 bladed troop's super alloy blades madly chopped at the transparent protective cover, yet it was unable to harm the level 7 shield troop in the slightest. Uterax looked at the level 7 shield troop's formidable protective cover, his eyes suddenly flashed with a whiff of a peculiar splendor. He looked at the level 7 shield troop with eyes brimming with longing. This is a protective cover with defensive strength comparable to a level 2 defensive spell. No. This protective cover's defensive strength might even reach that of a pinnacle level 2 defensive spell. In the world of warlocks, defensive secret treasures are always much more popular than offensive secret treasures. A mechanical golem with defensive strength comparable to a level 2 spell can even save Uterax's life in times of need. This is Western Extreme Cold Ice Phoenix method. Passed down from the 7th Warlock dynasty, Magic Note dynasty, it's a peerless secret method most suitable for women to cultivate. It's a secret method I obtained during my travels. However, this secret method is only suitable for cultivation from the foundation to the level 1 Warlock rank. As far as I know, only Savage Claw's level 3 Warlock Ice Blue Young Lady, as well as Snow White Pagoda's Great Warlock Snow White Madam have it. Western Extreme Cold Ice Phoenix method doesn't require a special blood meridians to be cultivated. If your nephew's little girlfriend needs to change her method, then it's not very difficult. You can let her first cultivate this method, then after reaching the level 1 Warlock rank, she can then change her cultivation method. Uterax thought for a moment, then flipped his hand, a secret book immediately appeared in his hand, then was grabbed by Mage Hand and handed over to Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi. Chapter 34. These days, under Robot Bonnie's guidance, Yang Feng learned a lot of basic knowledge related to warlocks. I seek truth in the darkness, I seek immortality. These were the famous words of the first Warlock dynasty's first Warlock Emperor, the Time Lord. It was also the famous words that countless warlocks regarded as truth. The ultimate goal of warlocks was to obtain immortality. Countless warlocks, in order to obtain immortality, had their footprints spread across countless planes, absorbed the knowledge of countless planes, captured the life forms of countless planes, carried out blood meridian transformation, taboo experiments, soul experiments, mechanical golems manufacturing, and so on. Secret methods were cultivation's secret methods created by warlocks after absorbing the knowledge of countless planes. Secret methods were divided into 2 types. One was blood meridian secret methods, the other was orthodox secret methods. Blood meridian secret methods were to implant a formidable life form's blood meridians, then cultivate a special secret method, allowing the person's life form to directly transform towards that formidable life form. This was a mature secret method obtained by the Second Warlock dynasty after countless advancements, and after creating countless freaks. Before the Second Warlock dynasty, basically all warlocks cultivated orthodox secret methods. Different from orthodox secret methods, blood meridian secret methods were extremely powerful, and their cultivation speed was also astonishingly fast. As long as the blood meridians of a formidable life form were transplanted, and they were able to withstand that formidable blood meridian. With the same resources, the cultivation speed of a blood meridian warlock who cultivated blood meridian secret methods could be 10 times that of an orthodox warlock. However, cultivating blood meridian secret methods also had their limitations. That was, once a blood meridian was chosen, then it would be difficult to change. Moreover, some formidable blood meridians also had the potential to evolve. Once the blood meridian potential of a formidable life form was exhausted, then if one wanted to take a step forward, then one would be restricted by the blood meridians, and it would be very difficult to take a step forward. Orthodox secret methods didn't have that kind of restriction. If a cultivator who cultivated orthodox secret methods was dissatisfied with their cultivation secret method, then they could change to another secret method at any time, or even simultaneously cultivate 2 or 3 secret methods that didn't conflict with each other. Of course, to change the main secret method, one would still have to pay a certain price. Magic Notes Titan was a formidable blood meridian secret method. The Western Extreme Ice Phoenix technique was a powerful orthodox secret technique. These 2 secret methods were many times more formidable than the secret methods of Black Cottage. Especially that Western Extreme Cold Ice Phoenix, even though it was only a level 1 warlock's cultivation method, but it was already an inherited secret method of a small warlock clan. As for the secret techniques cultivated by the knights, they were actually a branch of the body-tempering warlock's cultivation. A knight rank expert's physical constitution is equivalent to that of a level 1 apprentice warlock. A Sky Knight's physique was equivalent to that of a level 1 warlock among body-tempering warlocks. Both sides got what they wanted, and after some small talk, they began to exchange the cultivation experiences of warlocks. With Robot Bonnie's memories as a reference, Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi inquired Utarax about a lot of difficulties related to level 1 warlock's cultivation. On one hand, Utarax gave pointers to Yang Ye's issues regarding cultivation as a level 1 warlock. On the other hand, he confirmed that Yang Feng's embodiment of Yang Yi was indeed only at the level of a level 1 warlock. Both sides talked happily, and 2 days later, Utarax left Black City. Dark Warlock Pagoda's 3rd floor, within the master bedroom. Sitting on a sofa draped in white bear fur, Yang Feng's true body heaved a sigh of relief and said unhurriedly, "The war has come to an end for the time being. We have now won a period of peace. We can start the construction of the stronghold now." And the 3796 asked, "May I ask where is the stronghold to be built?" Standing at the side, Robot Bonnie's eyes flashed. 2 rays of light shot out from his eyes and formed a map in the void with Yang Feng's sphere of influence marked on it. Yang Feng said, "Establish a portable fortified stronghold in Giant Stone City. Establish a permanent fortified stronghold in Black City. But Black City's fortified stronghold doesn't need to be built with a matter and energy converter. The matter and energy converter is the most important part of a production base." And 3796 has a lot of technological creations that transcend this era. But due to the lack of materials, those formidable technological creations are unable to be mass-produced. The matter and energy converter can transform energy into a variety of materials. With this machine, it's possible to mass-produce even more formidable battle robots as well as other technological creations. Currently, the level 1 portable fortified stronghold doesn't lack steel, it doesn't lack energy, the only thing it lacks is dimensional crystals, which can only be manufactured through NR 3790 SIXS matter and energy converter. If there's a large matter and energy converter, then it's easy to transform dimensional crystals. Yang Feng intends to build a portable fortified stronghold in case he encounters an existence he can't resist. Then he can directly take the portable fortified stronghold and flee. With that large portable fortified stronghold, no matter where he goes, he can quickly stage a comeback. Understood. What's the resource allocation ratio for the construction of the portable fortified stronghold? Once the resource allocation ratio is decided, then if you want to adjust the allocation ratio, then you need to apply and adjust it a month in advance. Yang Feng said, list the construction time when the resource allocation ratio is 50% or more. The resource allocation ratio is 50%, requires 3,712 days to complete the construction. The resource allocation ratio is 60%, requires 3,421 days to complete the construction. The resource allocation ratio is 70%, requires 3,012 days to complete the construction. The resource allocation ratio is 80%, requires 2,512 days to complete the construction. The resource allocation ratio is 90%, requires 1,900 days to complete the construction. The resource allocation ratio is 10%, requires 1,221 days to complete the construction. 10 years? So long. Yang Feng's eyebrows slightly creased as he said, if I obtain dimensional crystals, then how many days can I shorten the construction time to? 20 days. If you can obtain enough dimensional crystals, then I can build the portable fortified stronghold within 20 days. Yang Feng made a decision. Then the resource allocation ratio is 50%. 50% of the resources would be used to build the portable fortified stronghold, and the other 50% would be used by Yang Feng to expand the mechanical legion, while simultaneously promoting the strength of his body. If all the resources were invested in the construction of the portable fortified stronghold, then apart from the existing mechanical legion, he wouldn't be able to manufacture new battle robots. Then if he were to encounter a great warlock rank expert, then his mechanical legion might even be completely destroyed. The 3796 said, yes. I'll immediately start building the portable fortified stronghold in Giant Stone City. When I leave this place to study at Warlock College in Talia, then I'll leave this place to you. No problem. I'll strictly implement the laws laid down by you. Chapter 35. Hunting Tooth Wilderness was the only way for Fernandro Principality, Cineris Principality and Poten Principality to reach Warlock College in Talia. It was part of Cineris Principality's territory. Hunting Tooth Wilderness's climate was very strange. It was basically impossible to grow food. Cineris Principality was also an agriculture-oriented country, therefore, there were only a few large ranches in Hunting Tooth Wilderness. The rest of the places were ungoverned. Countless criminals, villains and scum converged from the three great principalities, forming ferocious bandits in Hunting Tooth Wilderness, threatening the people going to Warlock College and Talia. Whenever those bandits flourished, Warlock College and Talia would dispatch formidable warlocks to wipe them out. But those bandits couldn't be eliminated. Every time a group was eliminated, after a period of time, another group would emerge. It was impossible to eliminate them all. Those bandits were all desperados. They were extremely ferocious. Every year, many people from the three great principalities would die tragically at their hands on the way to Warlock College and Talia. Therefore, in the eyes of mortals, Hunting Tooth Wilderness was an extremely dangerous place. On a main road in Hunting Tooth Wilderness, an incomparably huge convoy was slowly moving forward. There were a total of more than 500 carriages in that convoy. Each carriage had been modified, it was fast and long, and it was stuffed full of goods. There were also more than 2,000 guards in that convoy. Stop! A voice reverberated in that convoy. The huge convoy at once stopped moving. Chefs very skillfully got down from the carriages, took out a variety of tools and started cooking. The door of a modified luxurious carriage opened. Yang Feng got down from inside. Shi Shui, who was like a fairy, also jumped down from the carriage. Like a small tail, she closely followed behind him. A small practice field covered with all kinds of weapons had already been set up. Yang Feng strode into the small practice field. Inside the small practice field, there were already 4 expressionless robots waiting with clubs in their hands. Come! Yang Feng walked to the center of the small practice field, Took a deep breath, operated magic notes tighten, his whole body's muscles at once tightened, at once swelled up, slightly expanding by a circle. The four expressionless robots immediately held clubs in their hands and fiercely whipped Yang Feng from different directions. Magic notes tighten was a kind of formidable secret method to imitate giants. Its core cultivation philosophy was to treat the cultivator as a piece of fine iron, after going through countless tempering and hammering, to stimulate the human body's potential, tempering it into steel. Under the countless wooden clubs hammering, Yang Feng only felt bursts of pain coming from his body, but when he operated magic notes tighten, that pain would turn into a warm current flowing within his body. After the 5 minutes of hammering ended, the badly battered Yang Feng quickly took out an elixir restoration water worth 20 gold coins and immediately drank it. That restoration water entered Yang Feng's dragon Yang Feng's body and immediately started healing. Restoration water entered Yang Feng's king and sects Yang. If he didn't have the help of healing water, then after being hammered, Yang Feng would need to rest for 30 days to recover his body. Moreover, if he was the slightest bit careless, then he could leave behind internal injuries while practicing cultivation. Zhao Jiang clan, such a small aristocratic clan, doesn't even have 500 gold coins in their savings. It's even more impossible for ordinary people to use a 20 gold coins bottle of restoration water. So comfortable. After cultivation, my whole body feels relaxed and full of vigor. It's simply incomparable to my previous subhealth state. No wonder there are so many cultivation madmen in this world. This kind of cultivation is really addictive. Yang Feng's whole body felt relaxed and warm, extremely comfortable. He squinted his eyes and at once started to scan his state. Yang Feng, basic attributes, strength 0. 73, agility 0. 84, physique 0. 72, spirit 0. 9, blood meridians, earth's waste. Soul aptitude, inferior level 1. General evaluation, classified as a level 0 life form. Evolution potential, small. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a whiff of excitement. Apart from spirit force increasing by 0. 0.5, all other attributes increased by 0. 1. Magic Notes Titan really deserves its reputation. These past few days, Yang Feng had always been cultivating Magic Notes Titan. 10 days of time made all his attributes increase by 0. 1. This means that his body's constitution, in this short 10 days, had increased by close to 20%. Although he was still a waste, but it also made him feel the benefits of cultivation. Yang Feng looked at Xianxia beside him. His eyes flashed with a whiff of jealousy. He launched the scan. Unfortunately, compared to her, my progress is trash. Superior level 8 soul aptitude is really abnormal. Xianxia, basic attributes, strength 2. 5, agility 2. 6, physique 3. 1, spirit 4. 5, blood meridians. Insufficient data in the database. According to the analysis of the known data, the life form possesses formidable blood meridians. Natural charm. This is her innate talent, making people have a favorable impression of her at first sight. It has an enormous attraction towards males. Soul aptitude, superior level 8. General evaluation, currently classified as a level 3 life form. The life form possesses enormous evolution potential. Within these 10 days, Yang Feng bitterly cultivated Magic Notes Titan. All his attributes only increased by 0. 1. But Xianxia increased by 1. 0. The difference between the two's cultivation speed was more than 10 times. One must know that the further along the path of cultivation, the slower the cultivation speed would be. A strength increase of 1. 5 by 0. 1 was much harder than a strength increase of 0. 6 by 0. 1. Xianxia didn't use any treasures of heaven and earth. She merely relied on cultivating Western extreme cold mysterious ice method to increase all her attributes by 1. 0 within 10 days. This kind of cultivation speed made Yang Feng, who had drunk God knows how much restoration water, feel somewhat jealous. Xianxia merrily clapped her hands and said, "Too awesome. Gidge." To actually be able to withstand a blow from a stick, Truly too awesome. Yang Feng brazenly laughed heartily. Huh, that's only natural. A great beauty with a head full of golden hair, a height of 175 meters, a slender body, a voluptuous and sexy figure, a pair of huge breasts nearly bursting out of her clothes, dressed in a maid's attire, with a touch of fragrance, coquettishly walked in front of Yang Feng and said softly, "Lord, lunch is ready." This great beauty with golden hair and huge breasts was Giant Stone City's White Cat and Hat Hotel's top beauty sissy. She was also Zhao Zhang's unforgettable dream lover before his death. After Yang Feng seized Giant Stone City, he slaughtered Sissy's original owner, a viscount, and conveniently seized her to serve as a maid. What a pity! The smell of travel is too strong, her skin is rough, her makeup is too thick. Sure enough, genuine stunning beauties are all warlocks or apprentice warlocks. Yang Feng glanced at the great beauty Sissy, his eyes flashed with a touch of regret. Sissy, who had gone through meticulous makeup, looked very beautiful, but if one looked carefully, one would discover that her skin's pores were thick, completely different from that snow-white silk-like Shui. Moreover, once the makeup was removed, Sissy's beauty would be greatly reduced, she would only be considered as an ordinary beauty. The only thing she could be proud of was her voluptuous and sexy figure. Currently she was number one among Yang Feng's group of maids. Chapter 36. The yellow rosewood round table was covered with a layer of snow-white tablecloth. The dining table was covered with fine porcelain imported from the eastern continent. Fragrant roasted oysters, black pepper veal, salt and pepper beef tongue, oxtail soup, cheese-baked lobster, one after another delicious and luxurious dishes were placed on the snow-white porcelain, exuding an alluring fragrance. Yang Feng used his chopsticks to pick up a piece of black pepper veal and took a bite. The plump gravy and the fresh fragrance melted in his mouth, immediately filling his mouth. Yang Feng praised a chef with satisfaction. "Not bad. Lute, your culinary skills are really good." Lute bowed slightly in salute and said, "My lord, I'm honored by your praise." The top chefs within Black City's sphere of influence had already been recruited by Yang Feng and were specifically in charge of his meals. This Lute was one of them. "I've finally lived the life of an aristocrat." Yang Feng looked at the beautiful maids surrounding him and the top dishes on the dining table, revealing a trace of satisfaction. With the forces under Yang Feng's control, it was enough to establish a small principality. Moreover, in that small principality, he was the only aristocrat, all the wealth was completely under his control. It could be said that his wealth could rival that of a state. Because the majority of the members of Yang Feng's forces were robots. Robots didn't need to be paid. As long as they were supplied with sufficient energy, they would work hard without any complaints and without any mistakes. Therefore, he saved a lot of expenses in terms of salary. It could be said that the majority of the territory's income was pure income, which allowed him to live a luxurious life comparable to that of a marquis. The oysters, veal, lobster, ox tongue, oxtail, and other ingredients were all placed in level 0 secret treasures refined by warlock alchemists and specifically used to maintain the freshness of the ingredients. Just maintaining the freshness of the ingredients required the consumption of 1 magic stone per day. Ordinary aristocrats would go bankrupt after eating a few meals. After Yang Feng finished his lunch, he took the fragrant and slightly moist snow-white hot towel from Xianxia and wiped his mouth. He slowly got up and looked into the distance, saying in a low voice, "They should have arrived." Yang Feng's words had just fallen, when more than a dozen youngsters dressed in gorgeous aristocratic attire appeared from the southern part of the wasteland. Behind those dozen youngsters were more than 200 mounted bandits in hot pursuit. The leader of the group was a slightly plump nobleman with blue hair. He screamed in horror, "Help! Help me! I am the son of Warlock College and Talia's level 1 Warlock Abel. Save me! I will pay you accordingly! Help! Please save us!" The dozen or so young men and women dressed in luxurious noble attire also screamed loudly. Yang Feng waved his hand, 200 level 4 mechanical bladed troops with an appearance almost identical to humans quickly stepped forward and received the dozen youngsters dressed in gorgeous aristocratic attire. Among the 200-plus mounted gangsters that were hot on their heels, a leader raised his hand, and the 200 mounted gangsters stopped their charge. An ominous glint flashed across the leader's eyes as he threatened coldly, "I am the leader of the Storm Wolves, Bard. Those people are my prey. Hand them over and I'll let this matter rest. Otherwise, all of you can forget about walking out of this hunting tooth wilderness." Yang Feng glanced at the leader of the bandits and immediately launched the glasses scanning function. Bard, basic attributes, strength 5. 1, agility 5. 7, physique 6. 2, spirit 4. 3, blood meridians, human. Spirit aptitude, inferior level, 3. General evaluation, classified as a level 5 life form. Evolution potential, small. Yang Feng gave a faint smile and waved his hand. A trifling great knight actually dares to spout such nonsense. Go kill them all. The 200 level 4 mechanical bladed troops wielding alloy blades directly rushed towards the 200 bandits. An aristocratic youngster's complexion changed slightly. He whispered towards the level 1 warlock Abel's son. "Shit. Gars, this guy is too stupid. He's actually using infantry to rush at cavalry. That's sending his subordinates to their deaths. We should run away." Gars also whispered, "I also think that he's very stupid. Tell the others to get ready to run away. After the caravan is defeated, we'll take advantage of the chaos to escape." Using an infantry charge against a cavalry charge was simply sending the infantry to their deaths. In Tyrannid subcontinent, infantry could only form a pike phalanx, only then could they contend against cavalry. Furthermore, only those most elite and valiant soldiers who weren't afraid of death could form a pike phalanx to contend against cavalry. Otherwise, when infantry met cavalry in the field, they would basically be the ones being massacred. The more than a dozen aristocratic youngsters who were lucky enough to escape, their originally relaxed hearts once again became tense. They looked at Yang Feng as if they were looking at an idiot. The best way to deal with the more than 2,000 guards of the caravan against the 200 valiant cavalry was to form a formation with carriages, then use bows and crossbows to defend. Only the stupidest commander would issue an order to have infantry charge at cavalry. Bard's eyes flashed with a whiff of contempt. He pointed at Yang Feng with his zanbato and shouted, "Idiot! Charge with me! Whoever cuts off that idiot's head, the women and goods inside will be his to choose." When the bandits heard Bard's words, they all shouted excitedly. They clenched their scimitars, loudly shouted unclear words and extremely ferociously charged at the 200 level 4 mechanical bladed troops. Very soon, the Storm Wolves cavalry regiment fiercely collided with Yang Feng's mechanical bladed troops. A Storm Wolves warrior laughed malevolently. He brandished his zanbato and, with the help of the horse's charge, fiercely chopped at a level 4 mechanical bladed troop. Once the cavalry launched a charge, with the help of the charge, they could even behead a knight rank expert. The Storm Wolves warrior seemed to have already seen the scene of the level 4 mechanical bladed troop being chopped in two by his blade. The level 4 mechanical bladed troop was expressionless. It only mechanically brandished the 2-meter-long alloy blade in its hands and chopped at the Storm Wolves warrior. In the next moment, a scorching hot blood sprayed out. The Storm Wolves warrior along with his horse was chopped in two by the level 4 mechanical bladed troop. Blood and viscera splashed all over the level 4 mechanical bladed troop. Practically at the same time, countless amounts of blood splashed on the battlefield. The Storm Wolves cavalrymen along with their horses were chopped in two, their corpses scattered on the ground. It was like hell. An aristocratic young lady's complexion was pale, her stomach was in turmoil. She almost vomited and said in a low voice, "So terrifying. They're all knight rank experts. How could there be so many knight rank experts?" Chapter 37. Every knight level expert was not that easy to recruit. A knight rank expert's monthly salary was generally 20 gold coins or more. That's 240 gold coins or more for a year. 200 knight rank experts, That's 48,000 gold coins for a year's salary. If the various equipment of the knight rank experts were added, then the amount of gold coins needed would be even more terrifying. Only a royal family like Fernandro Principality was able to recruit 200 knight-level experts. Gar's eyes flashed with a whiff of astonishment as he exclaimed, "Knight? How could there be such a strong knight expert? Could it be that they're all great knights? Otherwise, how could they resist the assault of those bandits?" Under the astonished gazes of the young aristocratic men and women, the 200 level 4-bladed troops practically beheaded all the bandits, leaving only the bandit leader Bud, who possessed a great knight rank cultivation base. Even though the bladed troops were modified and simplified versions, but they still weren't existences that ordinary humans could defeat. Impossible! What kind of freaks are you? What kind of freaks are you? Bud brandished his blade and sent a level 4-bladed troop flying. He saw the 200 level 4-bladed troops surrounding him and his eyes flashed with a whiff of despair as he roared loudly. 200 level 4-bladed troops could chop Bud into pieces. Even an Earth Knight rank expert wouldn't be able to resist the encirclement of 200 level 4-bladed troops. Yang Feng swept Bud with a glance and said faintly, "Surrender. I just happen to lack a great knight slave. I'll give you 3 seconds to consider. If you don't surrender, then die." Bud tightly grasped the zanbato in his hands, clenched his teeth and said loudly, "If Darren can promise not to sell me to warlocks for human experimentation, then I'll surrender. Moreover, I'm willing to serve Darren. Otherwise, Darren, you'd better just kill me." Great knight rank slaves were still very easy to sell in the slave market. Some warlocks carried out all kinds of human experimentation. One of the materials they needed were knight rank experts and above. A lot of great knights who were reduced to slaves during wars, once they fell into the hands of warlocks, their fates would be very miserable. "Take this headband and collar. As long as you're honest and become my slave, then I won't sell you to warlocks." Yang Feng waved his hand. A bladed troop took a headband and collar and walked towards Bud. "Yes, my lord." After Bart saw the headband and the necklace, his expression changed slightly. He hesitated for a long time, but in the end he let out a long sigh, threw away the Zamadeo in his hand, and put on the headband and the necklace. Yang Feng said lightly, "These 2 things are secret treasures refined by the Steel Lord. Once you have any ill intentions towards me, it will explode and blow you to pieces. You're on your own." Bard's expression changed several times. Finally, he obediently said, "Yes, my lord. I understand now." In addition to the Mechanical Legion, Yang Feng still needed to continuously expand his forces in Tyrannid subcontinent. A Grand Knight like Bard could be considered an elite talent, and there were only benefits to recruiting him. The Steel Lord's mechanical puppet army is really powerful. Gars praised sincerely, then went before Yang Feng and said, "I'm Warlock College Antalia's level 1 Warlock Abel's son, Gars. You have the Steel Lord's mechanical golem legion protecting you. May I ask if you're the Steel Lord's only kin, Yang Feng?" Yang Feng said with a light smile, "That's right, I am Yang Feng." Gars said, "Many thanks for your help." Yang Feng swept those young aristocratic boys and girls with a glance, his eyes flashing with a whiff of a peculiar glint. "It's nothing. Moreover, if I'm not mistaken, we should soon be classmates." Warlock College Antalya would recruit students once a year. Moreover, the age limit of the recruited students was between 14 and 18 years old. The majority of the students that would go to Warlock College Antalya would participate in Warlock College Antalya's examination after reaching the age of 14, and then join Warlock College Antalya. Therefore, the dozen or so aristocratic boys and girls standing in front of Yang Feng were basically all around 14 years old. The leader, Gars, was relatively older. He was also only 16 years old. Yang Feng was already in his 20s, standing among those around 14 years old boys and girls. He had the feeling of a crane among a flock of chickens. Gars introduced the dozen or so young boys and girls standing beside him to Yang Feng. The majority of those dozen or so young boys and girls were aristocrats from Poten Principality. These aristocratic boys and girls had originally hired a large mercenary group. Moreover, they had a combined private army of more than 100 people. Just regarding knight rank experts, they had hired 5 of them. Only, a traitor had appeared in that large mercenary group, under a pincer attack from both inside and outside. That large mercenary group had completely collapsed. The combined private army was also wiped out by the Storm Wolves bandit group. Only these dozen or so aristocratic boys and girls had escaped. Xianxia came out of the camp with a whiff of a fragrant wind and walked to Yang Feng's side. As soon as Xianxia appeared, Gars and his entourage, regardless of whether they were men or women, their gazes were firmly attracted by her. Not only was she astonishingly beautiful, but she also possessed an innate natural charm, causing her attraction towards men to become even more astonishing. Although Yang Feng was together with her day and night, but he still didn't dare to look at her. Otherwise, with his mortal body, he would have long since sunk into her charm, unable to extricate himself. Gars looked at Xianxia, his eyes flashing with a whiff of infatuation as he said, "Yang Feng, may I ask if you can introduce me to this beautiful lady as beautiful as the moon?" Xianxia's eyes swiveled. She said with a sweet smile, "Hello, I'm Yang Feng Gij's younger sister Xianxia. I'm very happy to meet you." When those aristocratic boys and girls saw Xianxia's beautiful smile that could kill both men and women, their minds swayed. Regardless of men or women, under Xianxia's natural charm, they had a favorable impression of her. In the sky, on the back of a giant eagle, there was a short and small eagle trainer scout controlling the giant eagle to fly into the distance. "Let's have a bit more. Use your flesh and blood to establish Steel City's prestige." Yang Feng suddenly raised his head, looked at the giant eagle in the distance and said in a low voice. High up in the clouds, there was a miniature satellite suspended in the air. That miniature satellite was suspended above Yang Feng, monitoring in all directions. The giant eagle flew all the way, before finally landing in a huge camp that stretched for more than a dozen kilometers, before heading towards the camp's largest tent. In the largest tent's main seat, there was a tall and sturdy middle-aged man with a face full of scars, a pair of blue pupils, exuding a fierce aura. This tall and sturdy middle-aged man with a pair of blue pupils was Hunting Fang's wilderness's most ferocious and most formidable bandit chief, Thousand Slayer Gria. He was also Hunting Fang's wilderness's only Sky Knight with battle prowess comparable to that of a level 1 warlock. The number of bandits and caravan guards that died at Gria's hands exceeded 1,000. It was precisely through countless killings that he became Hunting Fang's wilderness's most terrifying overlord. 200 knight-rank mechanical golems. Furthermore, he still has 2,000 guards. In other words, he has 2,000 knight-rank mechanical golem guards. After listening to the Eagle Trainer Scout's report, Gria's complexion became gloomy and he said slowly. Chapter 38. 2,000 knight-rank mechanical golems, it's not something we can handle. Moreover, I also don't want to provoke Steel Lord, such a fierce person who can even kill level 2 warlocks. You please go back. Gria turned around and looked at the person standing in the corner covered in a black robe, whose face couldn't be seen clearly, and said coldly. Snake Demon's Eye, White Bear's Fong and Fernandro clan's 3 great level 2 warlocks joined hands and went to Black City to hunt Steel Lord, resulting in 2 dead and 1 heavily injured. This heavyweight news had already spread to almost all of Tyrannid subcontinent's great forces. Level 2 warlocks, as long as a clan had a level 2 warlock overseeing it, then they would have the qualifications to establish a small principality. Even in Warlock College Antalya and the other 6 great forces, level 2 warlocks were also important members of the Senate, the Upper Council and the Elder Group. For Steel Lord to be able to kill 2 great level 2 warlocks, no matter what means he used, it was enough to rank him among Tyrannid subcontinent's peak experts. No one was willing to provoke such an expert for no reason. Yang Feng hadn't encountered any trouble all along the way because of the 2,000 bladed troops. Any force that wanted to deal with Yang Feng who had 2,000 bladed troops would have to think thrice. That black-robed person said in a hoarse voice, "A bottle of dragon blood elixir. As long as you obey my orders, then I'll give you a bottle of dragon blood elixir." With that bottle of dragon blood elixir, you'll have hope of breaking through the bottleneck and promoting to a firmament knight. Dragon Blood Elixir. Gria's eyes flashed with a touch of greed and excitement. Dragon Blood Elixir required level 3 or above warlocks with high attainments in pharmaceutics to be able to refine it. Moreover, one of the main ingredients of Dragon Blood Elixir was dragon blood. Adult dragons were not only rare, but also possessed strength and wisdom that didn't lose out to great warlocks. It was extremely difficult to slay a dragon. Dragon Blood Elixir was naturally very rare. A bottle of Dragon Blood Elixir's effect was also very astonishing. It could increase the probability of promoting to a firmament knight by 20%. Without Dragon Blood Elixir, it was practically impossible for a sky knight like Gria to successfully promote to a firmament knight. Gria suppressed the excitement in his heart and said in a deep voice, "Dragon Blood Potion, I want to test the goods first." The black-robed man took out a bottle of blood-red potion and opened a small hole in it. A tiny dragon-shaped phantom flew out of the potion bottle, exuding traces of dragon might. Gria took a deep breath and regained his composure. He frowned and said, "It is indeed the Dragon Blood Potion." However, the Lord of Steel had 2,000 Knight-class mechanical golem guards by his side. Even if all of us from the Cracked Tooth Wasteland were to attack him together, we still wouldn't be his match. Gria was a powerhouse at the pinnacle of the Sky Knight level. Even if there were 100 mechanical puppets, he was confident that he could kill them all for 7 rounds. However, against 2,000 Knight-class mechanical golems, he would only be throwing his life away if he rushed in. Even if all the bandits in the Hunting Fangs Wilderness were to attack together, they would only end up dead if they were to face 2,000 Knight-level mechanical golems. The black-robed man said in a hoarse voice, "No problem. As long as I can draw away most of his guards, I can kill him. After killing him, this bottle of Dragon Blood Potion will be yours. With this bottle of Dragon Blood Potion, once you promote to a firmament knight, you won't need to stay in such a damned place like the Hunting Fangs Wilderness." Gria's eyes flashed with a touch of a peculiar light as he said in a low voice, "That's right, as long as I promote to a firmament knight, I won't need to stay in such a damned place like the Hunting Fangs Wilderness." Firmament knights were formidable existences capable of contending with level 2 warlocks. No matter where they went, they would be solicited by various great forces. Firmament knights could casually go to any principality and become that principality's state knight, enjoying endless glory, splendor, and wealth. The disparity in status and enjoyment between a bandit leader of the Hunting Fangs Wilderness and a principality's state knight couldn't be mentioned in the same breath. Gria said resolutely, "I promise you. My subordinates are at your disposal." Finally made a move. How interesting, it seems that the Hunting Fangs Wilderness will have a lot more nourishment. Yang Feng suddenly raised his head and looked into the distance, revealing a cold smile. Gars asked somewhat curiously, "Big brother Yang Feng, did something happen?" Yang Feng gave a slight smile and walked outside. "Let's go. Come with me to watch a good show." Gars and the other aristocratic youngsters followed Yang Feng outside in confusion. At this time, outside the camp, one after another bandit troops rushed over from all directions. The densely packed bandits appeared to be boundless, extremely terrifying. Gars looked at the densely packed bandits, his legs almost went soft from fear and he cried out involuntarily, "Bandits! How could there be so many bandits? Could it be that all of the bandits in the Hunting Fangs Wilderness have come?" The rest of the aristocratic youngsters also looked at the countless bandits with pale complexions, their bodies trembling in extreme fear. More than 10,000 people blotted out the sky. All of the bandits in the Hunting Fangs Wilderness had already been gathered together by that mysterious black-robed man. Their numbers already exceeded 10,000 people. Although the Hunting Fangs Wilderness belonged to the Cineris Principality, but it was still the common border between the 3 principalities. All kinds of vicious criminals from the 3 grand principalities would escape into this wilderness, forming one bandit group after another. This time, practically all of the bandits in the Hunting Fangs Wilderness had been gathered by that black-robed man, forming this terrifying force. From the middle of the densely packed bandits, Gria rode a pure black demonic wildebeest out of the crowd, coldly staring at Yang Feng's party, and said in a loud voice, "I'm Gria, the leader of the 1,000 Kills group. Steel Lord's nephew Yang Feng requests you to come with us. Our master wants to see you. We'll protect your safety." Gar's complexion suddenly changed greatly, his voice somewhat trembling as he said, "1,000 Kills group's leader Gria, that's the 1,000 Executioner Gria. He's a pinnacle Sky Knight expert. A man who had once escaped from the pursuit of 2 official level 1 warlocks. Hunting Fang's wilderness most savage hunter. Shit. This time we're in big trouble." The rest of the aristocratic youngster's eyes revealed traces of fear. Even in such a large principality like Fernandro Principality, there was only a single Sky Knight such an expert. That was a formidable existence that could match level 1 warlocks. A Sky Knight could easily slaughter an elite team of 100 people. Such a powerhouse was definitely not an existence that they could resist. Yang Feng gave a cold smile and said, "Sky Knight? Gria, if you kneel down and surrender now, I'll still give you a way out. Otherwise, this place will be the burial ground of you and your subordinates." "Gria, what's the point of talking so much nonsense with such a waste? Charge, kill him." A tall and sturdy bald man with a height of up to 2 meters flashed with a touch of ruthlessness, his hand holding a huge scimitar pointed at Yang Feng and roared loudly. Chapter 39. That bald man pointed, all dressed in red and holding a zanbato, the whole body emitting a valiant aura of bandits roared as they savagely charged towards Yang Feng's caravan. That bald man moved. The bandits from different forces also spurred their horses and charged towards Yang Feng under the command of their leaders. "Kill him. Whoever can get his severed head, I'll reward him with 3,000 gold coins. Kill him. Whoever can kill him and bring his severed head, I'll reward him with 1,000 gold coins." The leaders of the bandits roared loudly, offering sky-high rewards one after another, which stimulated the scum and scum under their command, causing them to shout excitedly. 1 gold coin can be exchanged for 2,000 copper coins. 1,000 gold coins can be exchanged for 2 million copper coins. A lot of lesser aristocratic families don't even have 1,000 gold coins in their liquid funds. 1,000 gold coins can let those bandits directly retire and live a wealthy life in their later years. Gars and the other aristocratic youngsters looked at the overwhelming number of bandits rushing towards them, their bodies trembling, their eyes flashing with a whiff of fear. Within Tyrannid subcontinent, aristocrats are basically descendants of warlocks. Moreover, their culture is martial. A lot of aristocratic families have inherited knight rank cultivation methods. Gars and the other aristocratic youngsters have also received martial training. A lot of them have the standard of a low-level warrior. But seeing the overwhelming number of bandits, their hearts are still extremely shocked and fearful. Yang Feng said coldly, "Kill them all, there's no need to deliberately keep captives." The 1,000 bladed troops were expressionless, marching in uniform steps towards the horse bandits. That large number of bandits very quickly fiercely collided with the 1,000 bladed troops. The next moment, countless limbs splashed, hundreds and thousands of bandits along with their horses were chopped in two by the mechanical bladed troops holding alloy battle blades. The bandits that had already launched their assault couldn't dodge in time, still advancing wave upon wave towards the bladed troops, before being directly chopped into two by the expressionless bladed troops, like pigs and dogs that had voluntarily delivered themselves to the slaughter. When the bandits in the back saw the hellish scene, they were scared silly, and quickly scattered in all directions. The 1,000 bladed troops at once exerted their strength, adjusted the engine power output to the maximum, and charged towards the bandits at a speed surpassing that of horses. Brandishing their alloy blades, they chopped the bandits in two one after another. Garland praised from the bottom of his heart, "Such a powerful mechanical marionette. The reputation of Steel City's Mechanical Golem Legion is truly well-deserved." The more than 10,000 bandits were unexpectedly chased by merely 1,000 bladed troops. It was simply inconceivable. Even a knight-level expert would find it difficult to catch up with a horse bandit. However, those bladed troops easily chased after those bandits, and then chopped them into two with a single slash. This kind of battle prowess was simply terrifying. Incomparably shrill cries reverberated throughout the hunting tooth wasteland. Every second, hundreds and thousands of bandits would be chopped into two. Fresh blood dyed the wasteland red. Save me! Save me! After the bald-headed bandit leader with the cultivation of an Earth Knight killed several of his subordinates in a row and spurred his horse to escape from the encirclement of the bladed troops, he suddenly saw 128 bladed troops encircling him. He was scared out of his wits and screamed loudly. The 128 bladed troops' gazes turned cold and detached, and they immediately pounced towards the bald-headed bandit. The 12 bladed troops immediately jumped high, and jumped above the mounted bandit bald man. "I'll fight you!" The bald-headed bandit gave an angry roar. In a split second he stimulated his body's full potential. The zanbato in his hand continuously chopped 30 times, crazily chopping at the bladed troops. The 8 bladed troops were chopped into more than a dozen parts in a split second. At the same time, the more than a dozen alloy blades completely sealed off the bald-headed bandit's space to dodge, and instantly chopped him into countless pieces. Bud looked at this scene from afar, his scalp somewhat numb, his heart brimming with joy. 100-man Slayer Mark is also dead. These mechanical golems are so strong. 100-man Slayer Mark was the most powerful bandit in the Hunting Tooth Wilderness. He was also one of the few Earth Knights. His battle prowess was second only to Gria. His most famous battle was when he killed more than 100 enemies by himself, obtaining the fierce name of 100-man Slayer. Now, one of the most powerful bandit leaders, unexpectedly only killed more than a dozen bladed troops before being dismembered. Bud had a new understanding of the Mechanical Legion's strength. In fact, the more the Mechanical Legion, the stronger their battle prowess. In a one-on-one fight, a bladed troop and a knight rank expert would have a 50-50 chance of winning. However, 100 bladed troops against 100 knight rank warriors, the 100 bladed troops could completely crush the 100 knight rank warriors. That's because the bladed troops have a tacit understanding with each other. Moreover, they're not afraid of death, their body's defense is strong, their vital points are few and small, they can completely fight with their lives. Human knight rank warriors don't have this kind of ability. A large number of bandits were killed by the bladed troops, and without turning their heads, they spurred their horses to flee this hell-like battlefield. The remaining bandits also found out that they were tricked. One after another they hesitated and hesitated. Suddenly, 200 m behind Yang Feng in the underbrush, the space slightly distorted, a person wrapped in a black POW suddenly appeared there, pointed at Yang Feng. A level 1 fireball was immediately shot towards Yang Feng. The level 1 spell fireball's might was extremely terrifying. Even if it was a Sky Knight rank expert, that level 1 fireball would directly hit them, only death awaited them. For a mortal like Yang Feng, as long as that fireball touched any part of his body, he would instantly be burned to death. At this critical juncture, 2 level 5 shield troops standing beside Yang Feng raised the shields in their hands. The shields flashed with a slight radiance. 2 transparent protective covers suddenly shrouded in front of Yang Feng. Boom! The level 1 fireball instantly exploded. The explosion set off traces of ripples on the 2 transparent protective covers. Gars looked at the person dressed in a black POW and shouted with some alarm, "Invisibility! Fireball! That's a warlock! An official warlock!" The rest of the aristocratic youngsters also revealed traces of alarm in their eyes. An official level 1 warlock in Tyrannid subcontinent, as long as it's not a place like Warlock College Antalya where warlocks converge, then they're definitely a bigwig. A level 1 warlock can casually kill a mortal like Gars. If not for the 2 level 5 shield troops protection, then that level 1 fireball would have already blown Yang Feng to pieces. Welcome to Immortal Cultivation Audiobooks, your gateway to the mystical world of Xianxia. Dive into legendary tales of martial arts, spiritual growth, and immortal ascension. Here, we bring you full-length English audiobooks of the best Wuxia and Xianxia stories, from young prodigies to ancient sect wars. Perfect for fans of Against the Gods, Martial World, and tales of demons and gods.